To us once on Mount Sinai, but the whole world did not hear you. So we are asking you, the Almighty, Ve'u yashmi'einu b'rachamav shenis. Speak to us just once more. Speak to us just once more, but this time li'enei kol chai. Let the whole world hear it, let the whole world see it, and we are asking you, Yavois lachem le'elohikim. Shalom Aleichem, everyone. It's very, very, very beautiful here in Toronto today, and I'm so thankful for the beautiful chevra that bring us out here. And I always try to make an opportunity to, connect with my chevra in the States on their Erev Shabbos, when it's usually Shabbos for me in Eretz Yisrael. So I figured to sing a little bit, get into the mood a little bit with everyone. And especially this Yortzeit Shabbos for Reb Shlomo. It's a very, very, very special Shabbos. Very special Shabbos. And so much in the heart, so maybe just sing a little bit more. Share the love. This is one of my favorite Shlomo Nigunim. A little bit less known, but still very easy also. major and minor, so you understand how major, these nigunim are a bit more simcha, they're a bit more happy. And those of us that are more inclined to feel more of a minor, that feel that life's rhythm and life's direction is more on a minor trail. So to open your heart to major, more b'simcha, in the beginning seems like it's very hard, but really, 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 once you allow yourself to allow the vitamin S, like Reb Shlomo called it, vitamin Shabbos, to enter into your hearts, then you're open to hear a lot more than just being in a good mood. So I wanted to share one teaching in honor of the Yortzeit, in honor of Reb Shlomo's 23rd Yortzeit, that is still very, very hard to remember when you need it. It's nice to say it, but to remember it when you need it is not so simple. So we all know that you only really hear prophecy. That Shechina and even hearing Nevuah, you had to be in some kind of a state of mind of simcha to hear prophecy. The prophets didn't go to street corners and look like nebuchs and say, things are really bad, please send us a prophecy. They went to street corners with instruments. Maybe they weren't smiling like this, especially in the real heavy prophecies, but to be in a state of hearing the message, hearing a bat call, you have to be in some kind of a state of simcha. And some of us think that to receive help from Shamayim, when things are really, really, really wacky, we need to look like this. Oh, it's so hard, it's so nebuch, please help us like this. But the emes is that to really hear what you're supposed to do when you least know what to do, you have to hold on to the midah of simcha on some level. And it's all based on something in our parsha. It's a teaching from the Vorka Rebbe. You know, what do you think Avram Avinu looked like when he was walking up to the Akedah with his son Yitzchak? We have our little midrash illustrations. Little midrash says illustrations, which kind of, paint a picture to us, and we remember those pictures that we saw as kids. But if you had to choose today to draw some kind of an illustration of what Avram Avinu looked like when he was up there on the Akedah and he was about to shecht his son Yitzchak, chas v'shalom, what do you think he looked like? He's about to slaughter his son. And again, this is just with our limited understanding of what exactly happened there. But Avram Avinu hears a voice. He hears a bat call that says, Al tishlach yadcha el anar. That voice tells him, don't do what you're about to do right now. So the Vorka Rebbe says, can you imagine if Avram Avinu was in the middle of doing that test and he did it with etzav, with a sadness? Perhaps, God forbid, if he would have done that nisayon through sadness, if he would have gone through that test with sadness, he wouldn't have heard the voice that said, don't slaughter your son. It's almost as clear as daylight today that we miss out on a lot of our own shechting of certain things in our life. Because while we're going through tests in life, we go through it with such sadness and depression. And therefore, each of us might not hear, we might be missing out on that, Al tishlach yadcha el anar, don't slaughter your son. However, that's relevant to us in our personal lives. But if Avram Avinu would not have been in some state of simcha, the Vorka Rebbe kind of tells us he would have ended up shechting Yitzchak. So I want to give a bracha to everyone that's with us now, to everyone who will watch this later, to anyone that needs a nigun at the right time. Whenever it is, all you need is one good nigun. You need one good Torah. Reb Shlomo said on this Shabbos, when Avram Avinu comes and greets the angels, he tells them, Yukachna me'at mayim, just take a drop of water. However, what's so funny is that when it comes to basar, when it comes to fleshik, he goes ve'ela bakaratz Avram and he shechts all this meat for them. But when it comes to water, it says Yukachna me'at mayim. He's stingy when it comes to water. Why is he so stingy when it comes to water? Well, we know en mayim ela Torah. Whenever the Torah talks about water, it's referring to Torah itself. So what Avram Avinu was telling the angels, Reb Shlomo says, he's like, listen, all you really need, you need one good vort. You need one good nigun. You need one good Torah. You need one shot of something that'll put you on the right track to put on that smile. No matter how wacky and bad things seem in this world, you just need one good nigun to get you on track, to get you back to that place where you weren't before. So to try to find one good nigun that can get us back on track so that we could go through our tests, yet being able to hear the bat kol that tells us also when to not do something that seems really, really awful and really wrong. Wow. What would be the one good nigun? If anyone wants to ask for one good nigun, one strong nigun, that yukachna me'at mayim, if you want to type it in right now, you're more than happy to do this b'chevrusa. It's almost Shabbos, it's getting close to Shabbos here, so we don't have that long. But if anyone wants to, put in their own little request for yukachna me'at mayim, what's one good nigun to get us through everything? Oh, this is someone asked for this before. For joining Chevra Good Shabbos. I shared this morning with the beautiful young kids here in Toronto in one of the schools that in 1980, I think it was 84 or 86, so Reb Shlomo did a farbrengen with two other very special people, quite well known, Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell in Santa Monica in Los Angeles. And someone had asked Reb Shlomo from the crowd. He said, Rabbi, what's your greatest dream? So Reb Shlomo said, my greatest dream is to meet and greet and hug and say hello to every human being in the world. And right away, Bob Dylan said, Rabbi, that's my greatest nightmare. So I think that what's left for us to do in this world? What's left for us as a society, as people, as Yidden, as Shabbos Yidden, what's left for us to do in this world? Closer. Just get closer. So let's sing one more nigun, the Chovot Shabbos Kodesh, just to meet each other and get much, much closer. And let's share that dream of closeness. Guest with us. First niggun I ever heard from our Rebbe. The second I heard it, I just felt home. I felt I was coming home. I didn't even know exactly where that was, and nothing became, no questions were answered. But I knew that I'm gonna start really loving this journey. I was a kid, I was a teenager. This is the first niggun I heard from Reb Shlomo. I'm just praying we can all hold on to the last note like he always said. And please, friends, if you have this one niggun, whatever niggun it is, you kachna me'at mayim, take one drop of water. You never, ever, ever know who's starving for one good word, for one good Torah, for one good song. It's all a blessing in order to get out of our own heads and let the niggun just carry us. Al kan finisher on eagle's wings. Ufros aleinu sukas rachmim chaim v'shalom. Ufros aleinu sukas rachmim chaim v'shalom. Ufros aleinu sukas shalom echad. Sukas rachmim v'chaim Chaim b'shalom. La 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 Shabbos. Chovot the outside, choose one good niggun. Bring a chair. It's very rare we get to spend. I don't know the last time we spent Shabbos together. I mamish don't remember. But we're here together in Canada, and we're gonna sing another niggun Chovot Shabbos together. What's one of your favorite ones?
Honestly?
They're all. Which one?
Down G minor.
G minor.
A minor. Sorry.
All right. Trying to save your voice for Shabbos. So friends, just remember, this is the headquarters of davening this Shabbos. It's the first time we find another Yid davening for another human being. Avram Avinu davening for Sdom. And Shlomo always asked, how could it be that this is the first time we find davening in the Torah? Because sometimes you have an urge to pray and you're not even sure why, but you know your kishkas are telling you, I have to daven. So Avram Avinu also didn't know exactly what was urging him to daven, but he didn't ignore his heart. He didn't ignore his neshama. We're living in a world where so many people are ignoring their souls. Their souls just want to daven, just to feel close. And obviously we know. The Gemara says, the Midrash says, Matzasi David Avdi, Hecha Matzasi Bizdaim. That the Midrash says, Hashem found his servant David. Where did he find him? He found him in his dome. He found him where Avram Avinu was praying after. Avram Avinu knew there's some kind of spark that needs to be saved from this horrible place called Sdom. And he was right, because obviously from Sdom, Lot was the only one that came out of there, and his 2 daughters. And we can't really understand the whole story, but through Lot and his 2 daughters, there's 2 nations, Ammon and Moab. They have 2 kids, Ammon and Moab. From Moab comes Rus, from Rus comes David Malka Mashiach. So Avram Avinu, basically, with the first prayer we find in the Torah is Avram Avinu paving the way for Mashiach to exist in this world. So Dafka, the places that seem that it's least possible for us, or it's least worth davening for, what were the 3 most famous words Reb Shlomo said? You never know.
Ever.
Good Shabbos Kodesh.